Hi guys! Sorry, I was just drinking water. You know, you always need to be hydrated. Hi guys, and welcome to Exciting Times with Johnny. I'm Johnny. Today, I'm going to read another book here. It is called Prairie Day. I'll move a little closer so you can see the pictures, but while I'm reading it, I'm going to be sitting right here. Once upon a time, a little girl named Laura and her pa and her ma, her big sister Mary, her babysitter Carrie, and their good old bulldog Jack headed west in their covered wagon for the prairie. I'm going to sit a little bit closer so you guys can see the illustrations of the book. It's pretty cool. They drove through the snowy woods until they came to the town of Pepin. Pa went inside the store to trade his furs for things they would need on their journey. Ma and Laura and Mary ate bread and molasses in the wagon, and the horses ate corn from those bags. Soon they reached a big lake that stretched flat and smooth and white all the way to the edge of the gray sky. The horses' hoofs clopped, and the wagon wheels crunched as Pa drove the wagon onto the ice. Laura didn't like it, but she knew nothing could hurt while Papa and Jack were there. Imagine if the ice just broke, cracked, and it was really sunny. Oh, that would be bad. Then they would just fall into the freezing cold water. At last, the wagon came to a slope of earth, and there stood a little log house among the trees. It was a tiny house for travelers to camp in. That night, Laura and Mary and Ma and baby Carrie slept in front of the fire while Pa slept outside to guard the wagon and the horses. Every day after they traveled as far as the horses could go, and every night they made camp in a new place. They crossed too many creeks to count and drove across log wooden bridges. They saw strange woods and even stranger country with no trees. So this was a long time ago where there were no cars, no bus, no trucks, no, RVs, whatever, motorhome. All of that did not exist because there was not enough technology and energy, even no Ferraris or no Teslas for all the energy, that they have. So instead, they used this little wood thing called a wagon that looks like this, that horses pulled it. And then when they took road trips, it would usually take days or weeks. Yeah, depends how far you're going, Because with horses, they're slower and they need to stop to get food and stuff, so yeah. After many days and nights, they came back to the Kansas Prairie. A flat land with rippling grass and a great big sky. The wind blew Laura's straight brown hair and Mary's golden curls every which way. Soon Laura and Mary were tired of traveling with nothing new to look at. Poor Jack was tired too. At last, Pa stopped the wagon and said, "We'll camp here a day or two." He unharnessed the horse and they rolled back and forth and over until the feeling of the harness was all gone from their backs. So they were going to stay in this little place for a day or two, and then Pa unharnessed the horses, and there they went. Look at the horses. They're just lying down. They're so tired. Yeah, and I would be tired if I was driving a long trip, and if I was a horse, I would already be dead in 5 seconds. Pa cleared a space in the prairie grass for a fire, and Laura and Mary helped Ma get supper. Pa brought water from a creek, and Ma mixed the water with cornmeal and salt and patted it into little cakes. She fried slices of fat, salt pork in the iron spider. The cakes baked, the meat fried, and Laura grew hungrier and hungrier. At last, supper was ready. Pa and Ma sat on the wagon seat, and Laura and Mari sat on the wagon tongue. Each of them had a tin plate and a steel knife and a steel fork. Ma had a tin cup, and Pa had a tin cup, and baby Carrie had a little one of her own. But Mary and Laura had to share their tin cup. There they are, eating their dinner. While they were eating supper, the prairie became dark and still, and soon it was past bedtime. Mary and Laura put their log nightgowns on, said their prayers, and crawled into their little bed in the wagon. The next morning, they all sat on the clean grass and ate pancakes and bacon with molasses. All around them, teeny tiny birds were swinging and singing in tiny voices. Dicky, Dicky. Laura called to them. Eat your breakfast, Laura, Ma said. You must mind your manners, even if we were 100 miles from anywhere. After everything in the camp was tidy, Pa went hunting, and Laura and Mary went exploring. It was so fun to run through the tall grass in the sunshine and the wind. There were huge rabbits and tiny dickety birds everywhere, and little brown striped gophers. Mary and Laura wanted to catch a gopher to take to Mama. Laura ran and couldn't catch one. They took some flowers to Ma instead of a gopher. Before long, the sun was low and Pa was coming across the prairie. Laura jumped and ran to him and hippity-hopped through the tall grass beside him. He has a gun, and it doesn't mean that he's evil. Here, see, he has a gun right here. But that doesn't mean he's evil. Maybe they're poor and they don't have so much money that they instead need to, hunt for stuff. Yeah. That's how they used to be in the old days. That night after supper, Pa's fiddle sang in the starlight. The large bright stars hung down from the sky. And Laura thought the stars might be singing too. When it was time for little girls to be in bed, so Ma tied on their nightcaps and tucked them into bed. Tomorrow they must be on their way again to find their new little house on the prairie. The end. That was an old school book. Yeah, it's from a long time ago. But it's nice to learn from a long time ago, from places and years that you weren't even alive, because when did this start? When did this start? And when did this start? And this is my first little house books. And you can collect them all if you like collecting books. I only have this one. This is one that I got from a public library. and all the books that I get from public libraries. So thank you, public libraries out there. But some of them already, are mine that I read. Okay, but that was the book of my first Little House books, Prairie Day. I hope you guys enjoyed this read aloud. If you guys want any other video that is super, super exciting and more read aloud and for me to go to more fun places. And here's the thing. This video needs to reach at least 2 views because this video is already like 11 minutes. But it needs to reach 2 views for us to do this, for us to figure out what the new slime will be. You know what? Don't worry about that. Well, let's still try to get the 2 views or more. Would be even better. But we're still going to do the little slime thing. If you don't know what the little slime thing is, stay tuned for my next video because that's what I will be showing next. See you guys in the next video. Make sure to tell family members and friends to subscribe, give likes, and stay tuned. Oh, I said it fast without messing it up. Okay, bye!